Hello everybody, welcome to today's video. Hope you're doing well. So glad you're here. Thanks for joining in. We're going to do some street photography today. Going to have a little bit of a conversation up front about the lenses I'm using. We'll talk also then a little bit about how they compare to the lenses I usually use. And then at the end, I'll have a couple minute slideshow of some photos I made with these lenses. So I hope you enjoy. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or things you want to share about experiences with street photography, please leave those in the comments below. I really enjoy our conversations. Alrighty, so let's talk about what we're doing today. We're doing things a little different. What's this we? It's just me. I'm doing things a little different. So I've had the Sigma 18 to 50 millimeter f2.8 for quite a while. I really like this lens. It's a lot of fun. It's mostly on my wife's camera because it's small, light, and easy to carry around for her. Recently, I just purchased the Sigma 10 to 18 millimeter f2.8 to accompany for her the 18 to 50. She's going on a trip to Italy in a few weeks, so this will be a really lovely combo for her. So that's the plan. Also, now we have two wide lenses. The other one I have is the 10 to 24 Fujinon XF 10 to 24 f4. So now we got a couple options. So let's talk a little bit about my usual street photography kit. And if you've been around a while, you know that my usual go-to street photography lens is the Fujinon XF 16 to 80 f4. I like zoom lenses for the practicality. I like a little bit more telephoto because that's how I like to compose. So that's my personal preference. I almost always have the 10 to 24 with me, but I don't use it that much. I prefer telephoto perspectives. That's me. But so for this video, what I wanted to do was push myself a little bit and primarily use the 10 to 18, the new, for me, 10 to 18 Sigma. So one of the things I like to do when I'm photographing is to get away from the standard view. So that kind of field of view that mimics what our eyes see. So for me, that mostly means living on the 50 to 80 millimeter end of things with my 16 to 80. So what I'm going to do in this video and show you what I did with these photos is lean into the wide on the 10 to 18. One of the fun things I think to do with wide angle lenses is to get close and then a little bit closer to your subject. There's fun perspective shifts that happen, size exaggerations. It's a lot of fun. This lens focus is extremely close. I didn't quite measure it, but it feels like a couple inches, maybe 3 or 4 inches. So that's what I did in a couple photos. Also, a thing I like to do with tall things is get close and look straight up. It's a neat look. I really like it. So you're going to see a lot of photos like that. You're going to see me playing with perspectives with this lens, trying some different views. Also, you will see some photos from the 18 to 50. This isn't going to be a review video of the 10 to 18 Sigma. I'll do that later. I just wanted to get out and do some photos with the lenses and see how they feel. So the first thing I want to talk about in comparison to the normal kit for me, the 16 to 80 and 10 to 24, is these are so tiny. These are so very small, so very light. So let me talk a little bit about comparison of those and put a screen up here and we'll show you how they compare. Alrighty, so here's a screen left to right, the 10 to 24, the oldest of all these lenses that I've had the longest. As you can see, it's a little dinged up. The Sigma 10 to 18, Sigma 18 to 50, and the Fujinon XF 16 to 80 on the right. So let's talk about specs. So here we go. So starting from the left, let's talk about specs and price of these different lenses. So we start at 13.5 ounces for the 10 to 24 Fujinon and about $1,000 US. Then we go to a lot less weight for the Sigma 10 to 18. I know it doesn't cover the whole range. Also, we'll talk about some of the other differences with the lens in a minute. Then we go to the Sigma 18 to 50 as it compares to the Fujinon XF 16 to 80. Now, I know these aren't apples to oranges comparison directly. We've got some focal length differences and aperture differences as well. So not exactly, again, a straight comparison, but it's a comparison of what I'm currently using. So let's take a look at how this adds up in total. So in weight and price, The Sigmas are 19 ounces and 535 grams at about $1,250 US. Both of these lenses here in the middle of February are on sale. I believe they're both about $50 off, so you can knock a little bit of money off that price. The Fujinon lenses are considerably heavier in total and more expensive. And as you'll know, they're also a little bit slower at aperture of f4.0. So that's some of the big differences. Aside from those physical differences, there's a couple other physical differences between the Sigma lenses and the Fujinon lenses. One is both of the Fujinon lenses have optical image stabilization. So if you have a Fujifilm body that doesn't have image stabilization in the body, that's a nice feature to have. But it does add some size and weight and cost. The other thing that's different between the two types of lenses, the two manufacturers, is the f2.8 on the Sigmas in a smaller, lighter lens versus the f4 in the Fujinons. I'm not sure exactly what magic's going on to make all that happen. I do believe there's some digital stuff going on in both of the Sigma lenses to do some corrections, I believe, especially for vignetting that happens communicating between the camera and the body rather than doing it optically. It's a way to make it a little bit lighter, smaller, and less expensive. The other big difference there's two more big differences between the Sigmas and the Fujifilms. One, neither of the Sigma lenses has an aperture ring. So that means you'll need to dedicate a command dial on your camera to do the aperture change. Secondly, and it's not a big deal, but the zoom happens in the opposite direction from near to far on the Sigma lenses versus the Fujifilm. So once you use it for a couple hours, or a couple minutes even, you'll get used to it, but the first time you do it, you're like, wait, it's not moving. It's just doing it the opposite direction. So that's a few quick thoughts comparing the Sigma 10-18 and 18-50 to the Fujinon 16-80 and 10-24. Obviously different lenses, a little bit, but they overlap quite a bit in use case potential. This isn't a review yet, but spoiler alert, I do really like both of these lenses and was really impressed, especially with the 10-18 for its ease of use, fast autofocus. The image quality looks great, at least on my first review of these, and it's a fun lens to use, and it's a great value, I think. So if you don't already have a zoom lens and you're considering a couple or one of these, I can recommend both of them to you. So we'll do a deep dive, as I mentioned, in a future video on the 10-18, but for now, what I have coming up are some photos that I made with the 10-18 and the 18-50, and I hope you enjoy these. If you have any comments, thoughts, suggestions, questions, please leave them in the comments below. So thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. I hope the new year is going well in these crazy, weird times for you. I find photography and other creative things are so helpful in times like this. So I hope you're able to create something and enjoy that process. If you want to share your stuff here, again, if you want to leave links down below, I'd be glad to look at whatever you're creating. So, or follow along on the Instagram. That's a good place to connect as well. So here come the photos. Again, I'll say goodbye here, and I wish you the best. I hope you stay safe, stay well, and enjoy these photos.